Another variation of the idea of taking action in that vision in your mind is to pay attention very closely to the version of you you see in that image you have of that ideal reality. Very often, many of you will have this image of yourself living this wonderful reality. But you will forget to pay attention to the fact that the behavior of the version of you see in that image is very different than the behavior you exhibit on a day-to-day basis. The idea of seeing yourself in that vision of the ideal reality that you prefer is for the purpose of creating a mirror reflection for you to mimic. So that if you act like that person, you are more likely to have the reality you see that version of you having. That's the point. Observe closely the thoughts, the words, the deeds, the body language, the physical behavior of that version of you in that reality. Because that version of you will do things very often very differently than you go about doing things in your day-to-day reality, because you are making a difference between the two. And so you have the ability to use your imagination this way, to point out the difference between the two, so that you can create less difference between the two. The more you act like him or her in that version of your ideal reality, the more you will attract that reality, his reality, her reality. So pay attention to the body language and take that version of you through all the typical daily routines that you may have in your life or that you want in that reality. Even if it is something that you typically consider ordinary or mundane, watch how that you does it. Because if that you is actually in a reality that is representative of his or her passion, that you is going to be doing even the ordinary things in a much different way than you might do. So let's say you have a vision of that you in that reality, living the life you prefer. Just take that you, let's say, grocery shopping. Because that might still be something you might still do, even in the reality of your passion. Now, if you look at that you and the way that you does it, then that's the way for you, to the best of your ability, to do the same thing. Mock up as best as you can, act out as closely as you can